Alright, hello everyone, it's mysticjuicer back from an incredibly long hiatus with some more Yomi action. It's me versus Copper in 19xx action. This tournament is already over. Won't spoil the results because the ending match, I did get the recording of that, so that will eventually go up. But I've got to work my way through quite a backlog of stuff. I was sick for about 2 weeks, and then work got pretty busy for a little while as well. So it was just not a good scene for recording Yomi. But this is right after I kind of decided to switch to a different character to give a break from, to take a break from Rook and see how that went. And I'm playing my buddy Copper here, who's a ton of fun to play. And I'm picking Grave. I feel pretty comfortable in this particular matchup. So it's been a while. It's been long enough that I don't actually remember how any of this went. So it'll be a journey of discovery for both of us as we figure out this matchup. I know I do remember watching this. I Am Nobody did do a recording of this with Cloud Cuckoo Country on the mic with him. And they had some comments for me, and I vaguely recall some of them, so I'm going to try to keep some of that stuff in mind and just kind of look at this with fresh eyes. So right now, with this hand that I've got, I don't have too many tools that I can really do much with. I have found my way to a jack, so I have that. I can use that as a spacing tool. I've got to worry about two particular moves as a reaction to Jack. I need to worry about King, which is a 2.2 speed attack, which is going to badly blow up my Jack. And I need to worry about Queen, which is also going to do the same. So from this position, I don't really have the threat of a throw. That's going to put me far too low on cards. I can throw into King, but it's just very expensive, really, to do. But he doesn't know that. I could use that to leverage a block. Yeah, okay. So I can't power up. Yeah, I can't power up the 8 of spades or the 8 of clubs because that's the 8 that I revealed. But I do have 3 more 8s, so that's fine. It's demonstrably fine. Now I've revealed the 8. That means if he thinks that I'm going to play it truthfully, he can play a 7 to beat it outright. And I guess I decide to just go in, get a queen back, which is nice. I am going to be able to cash out some nice damage here. 21. Bringing him down to that lethal True Power of Storms range. He's got to be worried about raw True Power of Storms. He's got to be worried about dodge into True Power of Storms. He's immediately powering up for a queen. The thing about Copper is he is known for the Copper strat, which is power up for queen, immediately play queen. It's incredibly effective. So I was hoping to get him with the okie doke there. And the thing I love this strategy from him so much because the kind of obvious mix-up from Manelker is power up for queen. You know, it's a 0.0 speed attack, so you can only be safe by blocking or dodging. And now I'm going to 7 throw you. And he 7 throws with a far lower frequency than any other Manelker player. Which is what makes the queen so effective. So the queen, like you know, protect yourself from 7 throw, which means you get blown up by queen. And then he powers up for another queen, and he just does that again. You just get blown up by queen over and over and over again. And the nice thing is, even giving away that strategy, that particular approach, all that means is that it makes his 7 throw game, the legit 7 throw mix-up, that much deadlier. It's really good. I love the way that he plays. It makes for really, really exciting games. Because you've always got to be wondering if he's not going to play the obvious thing, if he's going to go for something tricky and crazy. It does mean that I can if I know he has a queen in hand, I can try to beat him by playing my own queen, which deals a bit more damage, and he's got a bit less health, which is quite nice for me as well. So I'm basically just buying time until I can find a dodge so that I can activate my True Power of Storms play. I'm going to go for a really greedy 10 throw here because he is playing very, very defensive. Yeah, so immediately getting rid. So I don't love this because it gets rid of my only block. But I've got tons of aces in hand, and I've got queens. So once again, I think that's the second queen he now has confirmed in hand. Okay, draw a block, which is nice. So I can play the queen here to be relatively safe against the typical kind of range that he likes to play. Get him with the dodge anyway. And no reason to blow True Power of Storm. Oh, okay, yeah, just go for it? Yeah, sure. Why not? Might as well, I suppose. I'm not too worried from this position. I still got queen. Still got single ace. He knows I have the queen. Blows me up with the slow... Oh no, he didn't believe! Yeah. Yeah, give this man the coward, because... Why? What are you doing? What's going on over there? Not playing the slow side of Jack? Why even? So I pay with 7 health on a card, which is fine. So he knows I have a queen. I haven't spent that queen yet. He doesn't know, I believe, about the aces unless I've been not careful about how I'm playing. But that's fine. I need to find a little bit more damage. So here's the position where he probably should be 7 throwing if he has it. He's completely safe from lethal in this position. The throwing is particularly effective anyway. Although you can't continuously throw if your opponent is going to poke you out consistently. But I'm not doing that. I'm just sitting back, drawing the blocks when I can. Yeah, revealing face-up queen. Typically people don't play the queen. They'll go for a throw to try to finish things off. It's very unlikely that I would have lethal off of throw from this position. I've already spent double king, so I would have to have exactly 6 and jack. But luckily he doesn't believe. I'm able to Shoryuken into second Shoryuken. So I've got a nice life lead. I have to just not get exploded. If he starts dodging here, I'm in a lot of trouble. Luckily, we take the trade. That is far better for us than it is for him. And still doing okay in general. Okay, picks up single ace. I do have to somewhat respect... Okay, never mind. I don't have to respect anything. Yeah, play single ace right here. It outspeeds single ace from him. I just drew the Joker. So I'm feeling safe. Sees no Joker in hand. Draw the second Joker. Yeah. Confirm. That is the laughter of the luckiest man on Earth. Yeah, we're gonna go just double check to see if he does indeed have all 4 aces. Probably get rid of the 4 here. Yeah, one of those 4s is fine. Okay, yeah, 3 aces, wasn't real anyway. We're doing okay. He's got a single dodge. Does have a king, so we can wake up with king, and that's pretty safe. So he has to exactly dodge or die in this position. And luckily we trade kings for first game goes to me. Always nice to start up the set. Discard the Joker just to shine him on, I guess. I don't know what was going. I don't know. Playing Copper is just so exciting and so much fun that it makes you want to go a little bit nuts sometimes. Okay, start off with the straight. But we are grave, so we're going to start blocking. I've played a couple of games of Midori versus Manelker with Copper in the past, and it tends to start with us blocking 6 times in a row, so this is not atypical. Gotta be careful not to be blown up by 7th throw, but it's okay to play a little slow. I don't have, I mean, even if he 7th throws me, he's not gonna get tremendous value out of it. Yep. I blink first. Alright, immediate power up for double queen. So again, still not too worried about 7th row. I can go to blocking here. That was a test. Alright, 2 aces now. Now, I mean, so long, basically, because of Bonecracker in this matchup and how good True Power of Storms is, I just want to be careful to always have a pair that I can use to power up to rescue any aces. So I can start thinking about powering up the 5s. Show him the 7 because he has to react by either throwing with a 7 to tie or beat the block side. Or he has to poke out something. Or he has to poke out my 7, because there's no other way to beat it. Go immediately to a dodge, because I'm expecting a poke, and he gets me with the 7th throw. Now, from this position, what I should actually do is not counter this. This is one of the things that I Am Nobody and Cloud Cuckoo Country pointed out, is that there's actually no real reason for me to spend the 10 and a face card there, because even if he takes away an ace, I can immediately spend 2 10s to pick it up again. So, you know, I'm either spending a 10 and a face card or 2, like a pair of some kind, to rescue that. So, no, it's a matter of valuing the 10 and the face card, essentially, against whatever pair I would have to give up. Gets me with another 7th throw. So, at this point, I would have to power up 2 7s to get it back, so I'm actually fine with giving up the 10 and the queen there, because it means I get to hang on to True Power of Storms. So that is still a single queen in his hand, so I'm going to try to block that. Okay. Throws me again. Got a lot of cards in hand, but I've got a lot of health, so I'm fine taking some damage here. Yeah, no, it doesn't even have the black jack, so 19 damage to stand up and still have True Power Storms in hand is absolutely fine with me. Given how much I'm dodging, I expect that he knows that I have True Power of Storms. That gets me again, and unfortunately this time I do not have the counter. He's going nuts with the throws, and I love to block and dodge, so... so he's got my number here. Yeah, he gets me, so he's got to think about what he's gonna get. In this position, I definitely get rid of the ace. I don't know, I feel like getting rid of an ace is so strong from this position. Puts me in a position where I've got to either discard 2 blocks, yeah. I've got to discard 2 blocks to save True Power of Storms. And especially on knockdown, that means he knows that I'm going to have only the even block. So it really basically puts me in a position where I've got to wake up True Power of Storms. Or even block. So if I feel like he's going to go for a queen or an odd cross up, got to wake up with something. So this play isn't great, but it lets me discard the 4 and keep a block and True Power Storms in hand. And I'm only going to eat 16 damage for the privilege. So it's not the worst thing that could happen. Could be far worse. Gets me for 12. He's got an 8-card hand. That's more than enough to... or a 9-card hand is more than enough to deal with my kind of low hand position. And especially, I can't even really hit him with True Power Storms, because if I do, I have exactly 2 cards in hand. Leaves me extremely vulnerable. I basically have to hard commit to blocks. Blocks and pokes for the rest of the game. I'm going to try to get away with some more blocking here. This is good. This is getting me back in there. Draw 7. But yeah, revealing True Power of Storms is definitely the way to go here. Yeah, I mean, Copper's right. I mean, it is correct. That is actually the correct reveal. He's gonna power up for queen, so now I've got to play actual factual side of ace or block his queen. I'm gonna try to find a dodge. I do not find a dodge. Yeah, discard. I should probably have kept the 5 and gotten rid of the 6 so that I have at least an odd block. He does have the 7 in there. He does not have enough damage in that hand to kill, although it could leave me in an awkward position. I am going to block in the face of his known 7 throw, though. I've got the only card I need. The Queen of Spades. Queen of Clubs. It was cute. It's always cute. Alright, so from this position, I finally draw the 3, or I draw a dodge. Show him the dodge. He should power up for queen again if he can. Just to keep the threat of that alive. And then kind of the mix-up is, do I actually dodge in the face of his 7 throw? That kind of stuff. Okay, so I get him with the dodge. I know he doesn't have a joker, or I suspect he doesn't have a joker in hand. So I am able to cash out for 45. So I need to find 15 damage here. I got a queen off of that, which means that he is basically at 5 hit points. Yeah, immediate power up. Queen. I have more counters in case I really need them, but it's unlikely. At this point, I'm hanging on to that king. Yeah, nice dodge from this position for him. He's probably going to dodge into a 7. Get rid of the other ace. Yeah. I can protect myself against that, and at this point, I believe he spent 3 7s. So I'm relatively safe from this position, from more bone cracking. I'm at 29 hit points, so I can still afford to be thrown. Just doing a quick count of his kind of dodges in hand, how much potential damage he's got. So single ace brings me down to 3, and then I can power up 2 8s to try to chip him out. Go for block just because it's likely he's going to get aggressive, and I was also having a count of his mix-up options, at least the last time that I checked. So I get the block off, get another queen out of his hand. I show him the 2, so I've got the potential dodge into ace. Yeah, and get hit with big king here. Yeah, I've been playing pretty honest this set, I think, in terms of what I'm showing him and what I end up playing. So I thought he would respect it and go for something safe, and I get blown up with the big throw attempt. And I think this is probably lethal. Yeah, he can do, I think, king pump pump into queen pump pump is lethal. Okay, he's got the aces. Exactsies with the ace, cleans it up nicely. Made a bit of a comeback with the triple ace plays, but yeah, that 8th throw at the end there, I thought it was a good risk. I would have gotten lethal off of it. Throw into ace for the kill. See how we open. So again, I've opened very slow in the past games. And he punished me last game with a lot of heavy throw action in the early game, which kudos to him for catching on there. My graphic yet. So in this position, whenever I'm knocked down in the early game against Manelker, what I'm really worried about is, sure, cross-up attempt, but mostly it's king to undercut kind of a counter poke. So it's not as safe to wake up with like a 2-poke against Manelker as it is against other characters, where, especially against other characters who have tie position, like whose 2s are the same speed as my 2s. So I tend to, if I'm going to wake up, I'm going to wake up with queen, or I'm going to wake up with block, basically. And if I don't have one of those options, if I don't have a block or I don't have a queen, I'm probably going to pick the other one. So he's stopped throwing. So we're going to go back to block until we've got a hand that we're proud of, a hand that we're satisfied we can mash into his face. So he blinks first. This time. Got 2 kings in hand. Show him a 10. So this is a hard bait on a throw. Or a very clear, because it's very unlikely that I'm going to be throwing with that 10, therefore I'm probably going to be blocking. So I get him with the 2. So we get a nice straight out of this. I don't really care about the face down, and I think jokering there is actually probably a mistake. Unless I got extremely lucky and had True Power of Storms in my opening hand, there's almost no chance that he really had anything to fear from that position. And now he's put in a position where he's looking at very likely True Power of Storms, and he is down one joker, and it's like the 4th or 5th turn. So not an ideal game state for him. Very happy with this turn of events. For me, obviously. 2 poke into drawing a 2. I should really consider making True Power Storms real. Although from this position, I can also play for throw games with the possibility of True Power Storms being real. So I think at this point I decide I'm going to play a couple of aggressive turns. I've got the Queen. If he's expecting anything, he's expecting True Power Storms raw. So I can possibly trade with the Queen. Okay, no, he's continuing to hold down back. He's using my own strategies against me. I don't want to power up those 9s because they're my only throws right now, which is not ideal. He is going to power up, and from this position, I would actually expect him just to get aces. Yeah. Aces is how he's going to get back in the game. Even things up with his own high damage super. I've got to worry about dodges. And I've got to worry about blocking and throwing. Yeah, no, this is a scary position. I'm going to disrespect the threat of his quad A super. I am actually suspicious of him having the second joker. So I do attempt the just put him on the ground, get the burst, give him the burst if he has it. If he's got the joker, just put him on the ground, go for cross-up shenanigans. Play the Queen here because it's completely safe. Yeah, even against that, that's a fine trade for me. I would probably discard the Jack from this position. King is just a much more useful speed, and hanging on to the dedicated block of the 6. Yeah, I'm not actually too happy about that because again, I'm now every throw in my hand, like all the blocks in my hand, are also pulling double duty as throws, and neither of them are particularly good as throws. So if I'm spending them that way, I would like to have a dedicated block of the 6 available. I've played extremely safe. I'm going to try to bluff him out here. Yeah, and I don't... Here I have to spend the 10 if I want to hold on to True Power Storms, and I definitely do. I don't want to be in a position where I don't have True Power Storms in hand. And especially right now, he can deny me ever getting it. Yeah, wake up True Power Storms here. I think it's very likely I'm going to get queened. No, I just get blocked instead. So really bad position for me right now. We block, boys. God damn it. So I'm staring down the barrel of Deathstrike Dragon. Should leave me at 15 to his 48. I don't have a lot of tools in hand. At this point, I've got to block his dodges and poke out his Deathstrike Dragon. And we fail to do that immediately. So bit of an uphill climb here in the third match. Drawing a queen is quite good. Yeah, at this point doesn't matter. We are defanged. No more True Power of Storms. We're gonna have to do it the slow way. Try to protect myself from queen or jack or nonsense like that. Gotta think about whether I need that as a throw, or if I need the cards more. Yeah, and there's really no reason for him not to throw almost constantly from this position, because I need to build a hand, and he just doesn't need to worry about taking any damage, really. So that is GG for Game 3. Copper takes it quite nicely on the back of sexy, raw Deathstrike Dragon. Playing it Rook style, which I do not recommend. So briefly consider switching, possibly to Midori, because I have played Copper with Midori quite a lot. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable in this match. I just need to make some adjustments to how I'm playing it. So he has opened up with some throws early game. Yeah, this is essentially, I mean, it's a tournament match, but if I'm going to be developing a Grave as a character, I need to be starting somewhere anyway. Yeah, he gets me with the turn 1 footsies. That is not cool. Luckily, he plays into this. Sadly, I spend the Joker on not much of any value whatsoever. And he gets himself single queen. You have 2 queens of my own, though. Isn't too bad. I'll try to block and get thrown. So he's playing really, really well. He's using our match history in casuals against me, where he almost continuously plays queen. So he's really blowing up my expected my expected range for him is completely off. I am going to go back to blocking, though, because I don't think he's going to keep up this throw game. Yeah, and he goes back to blocking. Yeah, I got rid of my main. I banned my main in my own tournament. Okay, block, block. Perfectly happy with that. I don't have True Power of Storms in hand yet, and I do have pairs to rescue aces, even though it is a pair of queens, so I'm unlikely to do that. So instead, we're going to take a different tack and actually go on the offensive. Steal 19. I've played basically no throws at all. All set. So now that we have thrown, we're going to hope that he's going to get aggressive. We're going to ram this this queen down his throat real quick. Pick up another ace, so we're going to go back to throwing, play a more aggressive game. That is a pretty 10 throw. So very good indication that I do not have any more throws in hand. Take him down to 20. So standard operating procedure would be just to block here, because if I'm throwing with a 10, I likely don't have another throw that I could play instead. But that is the mix-up, right? Sometimes you play the 10, you immediately draw a throw, and you mash that throw, because they're like, well, I mean, clearly he's not going to do anything from this position. I'm absolutely safe just to block. Get my ace blown up. I'm surprised I'm getting rid of the 2 instead of one of the 5s. Although I suppose I can use the 5s to get the aces back, but Not sure how much I like that play. Especially if I get rid of a 5, I've got to dodge. I pick up an ace from the discard, and then I can just dodge into lethal with the ace. I am going to throw here because I have the Joker. So this only loses to 7 throw. It just does it. He is out of black queens though, so that's fine. It's fine on my account. Because he's just dealing damage, he's not further reducing my hand. Does power up. For single ace, okay. I'm actually really surprised that he's going for aces rather than queens from there. But, I mean, it gives me a great opportunity to just play this queen, so that's cool. I'm down for that. Yeah, you're not going to get me twice with that one. Especially with Joker back up. There's no way I'm not pushing a button right there. I'm too terrified. I'm too terrified of exactly that happening. Yeah. So we're going to be honest. We're not going to lie to our friends. Start off with an absolutely terrible hand. This is a hand where you feel completely comfortable blocking against Manelker, because there's really no reason not to. The worst thing he does is he 7 throws you and gets rid of some garbage card, and you just spend a turn playing block attack. Or spend a couple of turns playing block attack. I don't have any threat of any kind of damage in hand. I don't have any face cards, so the 10 is not particularly important. Yeah, see, this is fine. I felt it. Alright, yeah. Okay, so I was obviously doing some thinking about whether I wanted to poke, but there's really no reason. Yeah. Like, go ahead, get rid of a 2. You can go for a cross-up attempt here. But meh. Yeah, getting rid of the 2 is fine. So I'm going to play the 2 attack to get around a cross-up attempt, and also throwing here is basically free, because the most he's going to take is like 6, and if I draw an ace, then, you know, 18. But it's really not a threat. So I still have a hand that's very weak to throws and very tempting to throw. But it looks like he's also in a position where he can't get much value out of throwing me. So we go block block, and I feel like I win that particular exchange. Okay, another trade, that's fine. Gonna get rid of that 10 real quick. Yeah, I don't know about that, really. There's nothing in my discard that I really need to protect. I suppose hanging on to the 10s for later is fine. Yeah, okay. And I mean, I'm blocking with the 10 already, so if I lose it, I would have lost the 6 anyway, so it's fine. Comes out even in the wash. Yeah, he still has nothing to follow it up with, so I can continue to block and poke. Consider briefly powering up the 8s, but there's really no reason to. Yeah. There's just nothing. I'm just not scared, yeah. I mean, he's got the 7 in hand, and I'm probably going to block this turn. Because even if he throws me with the 7, he can throw into king. If he throws into king, I guess he goes card neutral, which is fine. It's not going to deal me particularly high amounts of damage anyway. So I have a queen that I could want to protect, but no reason to. Just going to block. We get blown up with a 5 attack. So that is the option I had not considered, was that he could go for just a cross-up attempt into some big damage here. 5-6 king, but it's a red king anyway. I'd forgotten. So he still deals a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong. 33 is nothing to sneeze at, but he's on a 4-card hand. 2 of those cards are queens. I've got a lot of pairs. I've got 2 pairs and a triple, or a pair and a triple, so that's fine. I can play relatively safe around queen. If he doesn't play the black queen, this is actually great for me. I poke out a 7, which is awesome. This is still much more even than it would seem. Immediately power up the 8s, yeah. So I know he doesn't have... I can't remember now if he has a joker or not. I think he might have a joker. I'm going to dodge here anyway. See if we can bait it. Oh, he's going to go back to blocking. That's fine. We have True Power of Storms and a block. And I think he's spent 1 or 2. Yeah, so I'm glad to be blocking with the 6 rather than the 9. Hold on to every possible throw I possibly can here. I do have the leverage of True Power of Storms if I ever assemble a hand. Yep, and it looks like that's starting to happen. I've spent a lot of dodges. Isn't great for me, but I can block into this 6. So I could potentially get some queen value out of this. Just go back to blocking. Yeah. He played it completely safe. But I still get value off of that. Getting a free card. So if I was playing honestly, it was either going to be an attack or a block, so block's completely safe from that. If he had the hand to get aggressive or to play something big, he probably would have dodged to try to option select that. Get another block off. Finally draw a dodge. Now the threat of dodge into True Power of Storms is real. Try to play it raw to catch a throw or a poke, but no, he's content to play the option select game. The nice thing is I can immediately power up 5 cards in my hand to get that back. So I am not without the threat. Try to go for the throw attempt here. Do land it, finally. Still playing very defensive. I gotta think about whether I want to go for a True Power of Storm setup of some kind, or whether I want to follow it up with the Jack just to get some damage on board, or start spending aces because Nelker has so few hit points that I might be able to close it out just with the threat of throw into ace or raw ace. But elect to go with a setup of some kind. I walk right into Wake Up Goldburst, which I'm very surprised to see considering it loses so hard to dodge, but I guess he's taking a read on the fact that I have no dodges left. I've now got to worry about Deathstrike Dragon. Okay, he picks up a queen to play the mix-up. I believe I played an ace really early in this game, or that might have been... No, okay, I still have both of my jokers. Okay, immediately throws. Luckily, I have 4 aces in hand. Unfortunately, he can get rid of my only block, and he does have a queen. So what he's likely going to do, yeah, he's going to get rid of my block, and he's going to play queen next turn. Which means I have to draw Yeah, I have to draw a block here or I die. A block or a dodge. And I do not. I am going to play True Power of Storms. But he is going to undercut with Queen. Nicely played, and he goes up the third game. So he's on match point. I've got to win 2 in a row. Yeah, gets a nice checkmate at the end there. Really, really nicely played. Yeah, pumps with the Joker of his own, paying me back for the earlier play. Yeah, so he gets a nice checkmate off. So really, really nicely played by him. Went for the gutsy throw. The top deck technology. Yeah. So we're gonna open up with King, or with Jack. He has not played aggressive early in earlier positions, so he is actually going yeah, top technology. Gets me with the opening King. I'm going to let it go. And he's gonna get another card off me. But I want to hold on to the Joker a little bit longer. This doesn't hurt particularly bad. I can still block pretty safely. And it does at least get one black queen out of his hand. So having failed, we're going to go back to what didn't work last time. Hit him with that Jack, and now we've got the mix-up going. So we can play Jack again. We can block the stuff that beats Jack. We can block his dodges if he doesn't have anything and he wants to get around it that way. Okay, immediately gets Queen. So now I have to either respect his Queen or not. And deal with a throw if I think a throw is coming. Okay, hits me with the Queen anyway. Things are not looking good. Back down to 5 cards in hand on the draw. He does not pump, so he maintains, he builds a bit of a hand that way. Goes to 9 cards in hand. I really don't understand the gold burst here. I mean, I guess it puts some threat on the board. Yeah, I mean, okay, so we have known True Power of Storms. I'm not sure that I really need to accelerate the game to this point, considering I had the Joker. Yeah, and he does the smart thing. He immediately gets Deathstrike Dragon on board. Yeah, we're gonna have a peek at his hand. Probably get rid of the 6 here, because it's not an option. Oh yeah, the King's not something we particularly need either. Alright, he's got 7 throw, a bunch of dodges, and the real frickin' deal. Man, I don't know. I don't know what I do here. I suppose the 2 punishes everything except for a dodge, but dodge is the safest possible option. Wow, man, he's got the stones. The stones on this man. So we confirm it to 47. And we just have to clean this up. Yeah, it confirms. Yeah. So he's at 20. He has a known 7 on deck. So I'm likely just to play the Queen. Yeah, get rid of the 7. Put him down to 10. We can 9 throw into the 6 for lethal. not like his hand is particularly scary, so we can try to just play throws. Gets me with another 7. This guy. Luckily, I've got 2 blocks in hand. And I've got quite a life lead, so I can afford to play things slow. So, likely to get rid of the 9, I think? Yeah. So now he's completely safe, he can just go to blocking. Unless I happen to find a throw that I'm willing to mash. Or queen. Queen works too. So he's seen my hand. Top deck queen is really good here. Yeah, and close out that game with, I think, yeah, some particularly good luck. He played really, really aggressive with Deathstrike Dragon in a position he didn't really need to. But I think he was expecting the dodge to be so obvious that obviously I wouldn't play into it. Try to hedge out against it. Luckily, he got greedy and I got greedy, and I happened to win the greed reveal. So we're both at match point. One last game. By now, the standard game plan that I've been using against him, basically all match, with some rare exceptions, is block a lot, especially when your hand is safe against the effects of the 7, either because I have a pair that I can power up aces with, or I just have nothing of value in hand. And then otherwise, Manelker's throws are just not particularly scary. He can make them scary in the early game if he plays, single king with no pump or jack on the end of it, especially if they're, but only really if they're black face cards. So even like the conditions under which his throws are scary are limited as well. So we're gonna go back to blocking. As I said, I think that Grave wins the block exchange because he's got more hit points. His blocks are better. He gets more value out of jokers than Manelker does, I think. So I'm going to show him the 8 because the 8 allows me to leverage the threat of a throw, whereas putting a 6 on the table really doesn't. So I'm threatening that I have True Power of Storms really early. So he's got to think about he's got to respect kind of the 8 mix-up. I don't really have anything to put behind an 8 throw, but I can get a queen out of it and knockdown. So I'm going to try for it anyway. I could get really badly blown up here. Okay, I get hit with the queen, which is like the least scary thing to be hit with. It doesn't even draw him a card. In fact, it draws me a card because, I get that value. So he played the queen in order to hedge against everything except dodge into True Power Storms, which is not extremely likely. It's much more likely I'm going to go for a throw or kind of a hit confirm attempt. We get some more cards, get rid of the 5, yeah. Okay, so he's got a queen, he's got no throws. We're pretty safe. In fact, even just throwing is fine here. The worst thing that I can do is throw into a joker, which would be bad, but not particularly bad. Yeah, could have gotten the throw. He was willing to give it to me. Fortunately, I don't have a 2 of my own to kind of be pokey with. I could start playing jacks. Okay, we get the block. That removes the queen from his hand. put the threat of dodge into True Power of Storms on the table, even though I don't have True Power of Storms yet. I really should be powering up at least 2 9s to make it real. I mean, I can elect to play a slower game and try to use the threat of True Power of Storms, but honestly, getting value off of dodge and having the threat exist is pretty good, and I should probably just be putting it in my hand. Especially because I don't particularly need more than 2 throws. And now I'm in a position where I actually just literally don't have the thing that I could hit him with. He does have a Joker, so I am going to respect this. And of course, he does not give me the Joker. Now we can power up. Got 3 queens in hand. So even after I lose True Power of Storms, I'm going to have 30 damage. 30 even faster damage. Be able to threaten. So he still has the Joker, but he doesn't really have any damage in hand unless he's drawn something big. Okay, he drew Black Queen. Get to discard something, probably a Jack. Not sure why I'm discarding the King, because it's got the better speed overall. It's not particularly important given what my hand is, but hey, you can whiff True Power of Storms, and you can whiff 3 queens, so why not hang on to the thing that at least defends against both Jack and King? Go for more throws and get blown up some more. Yeah, getting rid of the 6 is fine here. I like that. I like to hold on to the face cards if I can. I mean, the queens in particular. Holding on to the Jack just means I have something that I can discard the 10 to. And powering up with 10s means I don't need to hang on to the 10s as much as I would have to. I'm going to go back to blocking. Unless he's drawn a 7, this queen isn't threatening. Or this turn isn't threatening. Copper's the best. Copper, you're the best. Yeah, unfortunately now the only throw I've got is 2 10s, so it's not ideal. I've already been trying to throw him with 9s, so it's not like I'm working with a lot of value there. Yeah, here, I mean, probably better just to let him have it. I guess this does disguise it does protect me if I had a Joker. I would get rid of the Jack here. No, don't like that. I would, again, much rather have an additional block than I would a useless face card. I don't know why I'm discarding the 5s there. That's really, really weird and really dumb, in my opinion. But he's working on a perfect here. I do eventually need to land some kind of damage. Okay, we trade. At least we deny the perfect. Get rid of another card. Please discard the Jack. For the love of all that is holy. Thank you. Good lord. Got to reach into my time portal and strangle myself in the past. Alright, so he's played 3 queens. He has still not spent that Joker. I'm going to play some more queens at him. Okay, that's a much better trade. Queens get us more time in order to draw dodges, which we insist on not drawing. Yeah, wait for the timer to go down a little bit, and then just mash the queen we're going to play anyway. Okay, so he blocks the third one. He is creeping ever closer to lethal range. Alright, we've got 3 queens in the discard, so we can remove the last queen. I do not want to give him a position where I don't have any blocks, so I'm totally fine with him getting rid of a queen. Alright, so he knows I don't have any queens left in the deck. The only way I'm going to get any of them is if I successfully bluff him with knowing the opponent. Now, the funny thing is, he actually had a way of getting rid of the only 4 in my hand, but there's no way of him knowing that I actually have it, because I have the other 3 in the discard. But not a very high-value play to be going after. Dodge the king. He face downs. We finally get a joker. Of course I'm right. Alright. Play jack for spacing purposes. Yeah, okay, we get the 3 chip to put him at 45. The jack was there just to kind of hedge against poke into something. Also gets around dodge into Death Strike Dragon, which is not likely for him to have, really. So I'm pretty safe to block here. I only really lose to 7 throw or raw Death Strike Dragon. So I'm okay with playing towards that. I will reveal the ace. It is the fastest move I have, and that I could possibly have. Block some more. I need a dodge. I desperately want and need a dodge. I mean, I have enough things that I can probably just play raw True Power of Storms, but not feeling particularly confident on that. Gonna go in with a throw into King for max damage. So now we are no longer in a position where we need True Power of Storms to close things out. We can throw instead. That was a 9 throw, so again, very unlikely that I have any throws of any value. So I'm really hoping this 10 works. And it does. Go for the max, so I still hang on to True Power of Storms. Finally draw a dodge. We're gonna mash that shit. And we get around the gold burst. And of course we're gonna play into this, because finally both jokers are gone, so we can at last play with absolute safety True Power of Storms. So good games to Copper. Really tense set. He went up in games really quickly, and his throw adjustment was super on point from game 2 on, basically. Really punished me for the style of play that I really like to do, which is block a lot. So thanks again for watching. I'm back. I will be slowly working my way through the backlog and casting some more games as I get to them. Thanks everybody for watching. As always, links to find this game below in the description. Check those out, and until next time, this is mysticjuicer signing off. Enjoy yourself some Yomi.